Do this, and you will never be angry at anyone. Listen carefully, because I'm about to tell you something that no father, no teacher, no woman in your life has ever had the courage to say. You've been lied to about anger. Your whole life, they told you, anger is an emotion, that it just happens, that it comes and it goes, and you're nothing more than a passenger riding it out. They fed you the same hollow lines. Count to 10. Take a deep breath. Try to see it from their side. They taught you how to fake calm. Not one of them taught you the truth. Here is the truth. Anger is not an emotion. Anger is a decision you make hundreds of times a week without ever realizing it. And every single time you make that decision, you hand a piece of your soul to someone who doesn't even know your name. Most men will never understand this. They'll die in the dark. They'll spend 40, 50, 70 years of their lives being remote-controlled by strangers in traffic, by jealous co-workers, by ex-girlfriends, by comments under a post. They'll convince themselves they are strong because they stand up for themselves. They will never know that every time they react, they have already lost. You are not one of them. If you were, you wouldn't have clicked on this video. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to break something inside you. An illusion. The illusion that your anger is justified. The illusion that other people have power over you. The illusion that real men explode. Wrong. All of it wrong. Real men don't explode. Real men observe. Real men stand still while the world spins around them, and that stillness is exactly what forces the world to step around them. Remember this. In the animal kingdom, the strongest predator is not the one that roars the loudest. Lions roar to scare the weak. The wolf is silent. The wolf watches. The wolf waits. And when the wolf strikes, no one ever hears the warning. That is the man you are going to become by the end of this video, if you stay until the last word. Brace yourself. What's coming next will not be comfortable. I'm not here to soothe you. I'm not going to tell you that your anger is valid. I'm going to show you the real reason behind it, the reason you've been hiding from your entire life. And I'm going to hand you the weapons to make sure it never controls you again. Sit down, turn off your notifications. This is the moment a man is born or buried. Law number 1, no one has ever made you angry. Read that line again. Read it slowly. No one has ever made you angry. Not your ex. Not the boss who broke you. Not the driver who cut you off this morning. Not the controlling mother. Not the cold father. Not a single person. Not once. This is the first and largest truth. If you don't get this one, the 7 that follow will mean nothing. Anger does not come from outside. Anger comes from a very specific place inside you, the gap between what you expected and what actually happened. That gap, that is the only place anger has ever lived. You expect your coworker to respect you. He doesn't. Anger is born. You expect your wife to understand you. She doesn't. Anger is born. You expect life to be fair. It isn't. Anger is born. Look closely. In every one of these examples, the problem is not the other person. The problem is your expectation. You're demanding that reality follow the map inside your head. And when reality refuses, you burn. Machiavelli understood this 5 centuries ago. He wrote, "The source of all suffering in the strong is the expectation that the weak will act like the strong." He wasn't being cruel. He was warning you. You're putting expectations on people who do not have the capacity to meet them and then resenting them for failing. That is foolishness, and the ancient Greeks called it the disease of the mighty. Listen carefully, because what comes next changes everything. Every time you feel anger rising, ask yourself one question. Not, why did they do this? Not, what kind of person acts like that? Ask, how am I demanding that reality be different right now? Answer that, and the anger dissolves on the spot. You're angry because your ex moved on with someone less than you? You're demanding that she be wise, that she recognize your value, that she behave according to your logic. She doesn't. She is herself. The problem isn't her. The problem is that you're wrestling with reality, and reality always wins. You're angry because your boss treats you unfairly. You're demanding that power come paired with morality. 4,000 years of human history prove it doesn't. You're fighting the nature of mankind itself, and you will lose. This is what the weak refuse to accept. They believe that with enough rage, they can force reality to change. They never understand that their anger changes nothing except their own blood pressure. The wolf does not argue with the wind. The wolf does not demand the sun rise earlier. The wolf accepts the world as it is, and then moves through it with deadly precision. That is law number 1. No one has ever made you angry. You have been angry at yourself every single time for reality refusing to take your orders. Learn this. Carve it into your bones. Law number 2. The burning coal and the fool. There is an ancient saying that every man should know by heart. Anger is grasping a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned first. Read it again. Picture it. Actually see it in your mind. Your hand, the coal, the smell of burning flesh, the hiss of moisture escaping the wound. That is what is happening every single time you hold on to anger. Every single time, no exceptions. And here's what makes it worse. While you are burning, the other person doesn't even know. They are eating dinner. They are watching a movie. They are sleeping. They forgot you 3 seconds after the conversation ended. And you are sitting there at 2 in the morning, replaying the exchange in your head, crafting the perfect comeback you should have said. They sleep peacefully. You burn. This is the greatest stupidity of mankind, and most men will keep doing it until the day they die. Listen, because this matters. There are 3 ways to handle anger. 2 of them lead straight to destruction. The first way is suppression. You swallow it. You say, "I'm fine." You smile when you want to scream. This is the path of the decent man. And this is exactly why decent men drop dead from heart attacks at 50. Anger doesn't disappear when it's suppressed. It moves inward. It eats the heart. It hollows out your cells slowly over 20 years. The second way is venting. You yell. You smash. You fire off an impulsive tweet. You send the text at midnight. This is the path of the reactive man. And this is exactly why he loses his job, his marriage, his friends, his reputation. He thinks honest expression is strength. Wrong. It's weakness wearing a costume. The third way, the way of the wolf, is observation. You don't suppress. You don't vent. You step back and you watch the anger like you watch the weather. It comes. It is the storm. You are not the storm. You are the man standing on the hill, watching the storm move across the valley. And here's the magic. When you watch carefully enough, the storm cannot survive. It feeds on your identification with it. I am angry. That sentence is its food. Switch it to, there is anger passing through me, and it starves. It dissolves. This is the most powerful weapon you own. And most men never learn how to use it. Practice it starting today. The next time hot blood rushes to your temples, don't suppress. Don't vent. Don't do anything. Just watch. Notice your chest tighten. Notice your breath shorten. Notice your mind start rehearsing speeches of revenge. Watch. Smile. Let it pass. Anger that is seen is anger that is already dying. Law number 3. The 4 weapons of the wolf. Now, I'm going to hand you 4 weapons. No one handed these to me. I had to sharpen each one through thousands of wounds. You're being given them. Don't waste them. The first weapon is awareness. All day long, watch yourself like a detective watches a suspect. Every small spark, the line that's too long, the coworker who interrupts you, the comment under your post, catch it the moment it's born, before it ignites, before it gets a name. Whisper inside your own head, there it is, the seed. And then, don't water it. Don't give it light. Don't give it a story. A seed without soil dies in seconds. This is how you build immunity. Each spark caught early is a brick in your wall. After 6 months, no one can touch you anymore. The second weapon is letting go of control. This is the hardest weapon for a man, because we were raised to believe a man controls everything. He controls his work, he controls his family, he controls the situation. Wrong. A real man controls one thing himself. Everything else he releases. The next time something irritates you, ask, "Can I let this be?" 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes. The 10th time, when action is actually required, you'll act with far greater precision because your mind isn't clouded. Remember this: the man who demands control over everything ends up controlling nothing. The man who releases everything ends up controlling himself. And that is the only power that matters. The third weapon is laughter. Most men confuse seriousness with strength. They are wrong. Seriousness is a burden. Real strength is the ability to laugh at your own seriousness. A driver cuts you off. Do you really believe he plotted this from the night before? He doesn't even remember your face 5 minutes later. He might be on his way to a hospital. He might have just lost his job. He might be crying behind the wheel. You don't know. You will never know. And that not knowing is the best reason to laugh. The fourth weapon is death. This is the most expensive weapon and the most powerful. Every morning, remind yourself, you will die. Maybe in 50 years, maybe next week, maybe this afternoon. Every person currently irritating you will also die. Maybe before you, maybe after you. Within 100 years, no one in this conversation will still be on this earth. Is it worth burning your countdown for a comment on Facebook? Death is the strictest teacher there is. When you remember it, every petty thing falls away. You stop being angry at co-workers. You stop being angry at your wife for the way she folds towels. You stop being angry at the world. You have too little time left to be angry, and too much to build. Law number 4. Underneath anger, there is always fear. This is the truth that few men have the courage to face, because it threatens the image they've built their entire lives. Anger is never anger. It is always something else wearing a mask. Underneath every flare of anger, there are 3 things, and only 3. Fear, hurt, or pride. That is all. There are no exceptions. The next time your chest catches fire, dig down 1 layer. Ask, afraid of what? Hurt, where? Which version of my ego is screaming? A man rages at his wife because she's laughing too easily with someone else. He thinks he's angry about disrespect. Wrong. He's afraid. He's afraid she might not need him. He's afraid his value is no longer enough. That is the truth. The anger is just packaging. A man rages at his boss for being skipped over for promotion. He thinks he's angry about injustice. Wrong. He's hurt. He placed his self-worth in another man's opinion, and that opinion came back rejected. The pain is real. The anger is just how he avoids feeling it. A man rages when someone doesn't reply to his text. He thinks he's angry about disrespect. Wrong. His ego is bleeding. He believes he is important enough to deserve immediate attention. When reality says no, the ego screams in the form of anger. Listen carefully. This is the transformation. When you peel off the mask, the anger vanishes. Because you cannot stay angry once you've seen the fear behind it. You cannot stay angry once you've touched the pain underneath. You cannot stay angry once you've looked your own ego dead in the eye. What's left is the truth. And the truth doesn't burn. The truth only heals. This is what the greatest strategists in history all knew. Lincoln knew it. Marcus Aurelius knew it. Sun Tzu knew it. They were not men without emotion. They were men who had dug deeper than emotion. They saw the mask, and they saw what was beneath it. When you do this long enough, something strange happens. You stop being angry altogether, not because you force yourself, but because anger no longer makes sense. You see straight through it. It cannot fool you anymore. This is the state the masters call the man who cannot be provoked, not cold, not numb, but transparent. A man whose every flare of anger is recognized the moment it's born and dissolved in the same moment. That is who you are about to become, if you have the courage to dig. Law number 5, the letters that were never sent. There is a story I want you to remember, because it teaches more than any philosophy book ever written. The year is 1864, the American Civil War. President Abraham Lincoln is sitting in his office, and the blood is hot in his head. General George Meade has just won the Battle of Gettysburg, a victory that could end the war. But Meade let General Lee's army slip away. Thousands more men will die because of that hesitation. Lincoln picks up his pen. He writes a letter. Sharp, surgical, brutal. Every word is a blade. He sets the pen down, reads it back, folds the page, and he does not send it. He places it in his desk drawer. He goes to bed. The next day, he doesn't send it. The week after, he doesn't send it. The month after, he doesn't send it. When Lincoln was assassinated, his staff cleaned out his desk. They found dozens of letters just like that one. Letters to generals, letters to senators, letters to political enemies. Every one of them a hot coal. Every one of them never thrown. That is why Lincoln held the Union together. That is why the United States still exists today. A president who threw the first coal would have lost the war. Lincoln chose to burn quietly instead of setting everyone around him on fire. That is the discipline of the wolf. Now look at the opposite. The year is 2018. A famous tech CEO, you know exactly who I'm talking about, fires off an angry tweet. He calls a diver who was rescuing children trapped in a cave in Thailand a pedophile. No evidence, no reflection. One single moment. The cost, millions of dollars in legal fees. A permanent stain on his reputation. The most expensive lesson in the history of social media. The distance between Lincoln and that man is 10 seconds. 10 seconds between feeling and action. 10 seconds to put the pen down instead of hitting tweet. Every man on earth faces those 10 seconds every single day. The text drafted at midnight, the phone call after 3 drinks, the email to your boss while the blood is still hot, the comment written in a fit of rage. The wolf's rule is simple. If you are angry while writing, do not send. Put it down. Let it sit overnight. If you still want to send it in the morning, send it. But you won't. You never do. Lincoln lived by this rule. More than 150 years later, his letter to Meade still sits in a museum, never opened during Meade's lifetime. That is his legacy. Not the Emancipation Proclamation, not the Gettysburg Address, but a desk full of drawers stuffed with letters that were never sent. Every man who has ever built an empire has that drawer. Do you have yours? Start tonight. Every angry message you do not send is a stone in the foundation of your kingdom. Law number 6, the shadow and the mirror. Now we arrive at the deepest part, the part that 90% of viewers will skip, but you are not them. Carl Jung, the greatest psychologist of the 20th century, wrote one line, "I want you to burn into your mind." Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Here's the brutal version of that sentence. You only attack on the outside what you cannot accept on the inside. Read it again. Feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is the truth touching you. The person who makes you angriest is the most terrifying mirror you own. They are reflecting a part of you that you refuse to look at. A lazy coworker drives you insane. Deep down, you are afraid that you are also lazy. You are afraid that if you allowed yourself one full day off, you'd become him. A manipulative friend infuriates you. You have manipulated someone yourself, maybe just once, maybe just one person, and you have never forgiven yourself for it. An arrogant man fills you with disgust. Your own ego is screaming for recognition too. You hate him because he dared to do what you didn't have the nerve to do. This is the hardest truth in this entire video. Every flare of your anger is a letter from your unconscious to your conscious self. It says, "Look at me. There is a part of you hiding here." Most men never read the letter. They burn it in the heat of rage, and then they wonder why their lives keep repeating the same patterns. The wolf is different. The wolf reads the letter. Every time someone triggers you, ask, "What part of me is reacting?" Not, "Why did they do that?" Ask, "Why am I reacting like this?" The answer will never be about them. It is always about you. And now, an even harder truth. Who are you still angry at? A father who has been dead for 10 years, an ex who already has a new family, a boss who fired you back in 2019. They don't remember you. They have moved on. They are eating dinner with their kids. They are sleeping. They have forgotten. And you are paying them rent every single month, inside your own mind. Every night you think about them is a payment. Every conversation you replay is a wage you transfer to a person who doesn't even know they're being paid. This is what I call the silent tax. The most expensive tax the weak ever pay, and they pay it voluntarily. Declare bankruptcy tonight. Not because they deserve forgiveness, they don't, but because you deserve to be free. Because you have far too little time left to keep dragging around people who left long ago. Cut the tax. Close that office in your mind. Take back the space. This is how the wolf moves through the world without carrying any ghosts. We have arrived at the end, and this is the most important part. You came a long way. Most viewers dropped off in the middle, back to the old life, the old anger, the old coals burning in their hands. You didn't. You're still here. That means something. Now listen to the last thing I will tell you. The wolf never gets angry. Not because he doesn't feel. He feels everything. He feels the first spark in his chest, just like anyone else. So, what's the difference? He doesn't feed it. He sees it. He acknowledges it. He lets it pass like a cloud across the sky. And then he goes back to hunting, because that is what the wolf does. He hunts, he builds, he moves. He has no time for anger. Anger is a luxury for men without a mission. When you have a mission, a real one, anger becomes irrelevant. Ask yourself, do you have a mission? If you don't, that is exactly why you are easy to anger. An empty mind fills itself with empty emotion. If you do, you won't have time for anger. You'll be too busy building. Here's the final secret. The cure for anger is not technique. The cure for anger is a life bigger than the anger. Build that life. Start today. And the next time someone tries to trigger you, and someone will, probably within the next 24 hours, remember this. They are handing you a hot coal. They are inviting you into their game. They want you to come down to their level. Don't accept. Smile lightly. Not a smile of contempt. The smile of a man who has seen all of it. The smile of the wolf watching the rabbit dance in front of him. And keep walking. Keep walking toward your mission. Keep walking toward the empire you are building. Keep walking toward the man you are becoming, because that is the best revenge. Not striking back, not arguing, just walking, until 6 months later, a year later, 5 years later, they look at where you have arrived, and they understand they were never really part of your story. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome from this position. Lincoln held the Union together from this position. Every man who has ever left a mark on history stood exactly where you are standing now and chose not to throw the coal. Now, it's your turn. Be the wolf in a room full of rabbits. Be the silent man in a crowd that screams. Be the one who walks in and changes the air, not because of what you say, but because you cannot be touched. That is power, real power. Not the power that yells the loudest, the power that has no need to yell. Your anger, starting today, is no longer the master. You are the master. Every spark is now a choice, and you have chosen. The world has no shortage of men who know how to scream. The world is starving for men who cannot be touched. Be that man. Be the man whose enemies search for the trigger and find no button. Be the man who, after betrayal, Sit still with the eyes of a king. Be the man who, when given the worst possible news, doesn't even let his hand shake. Because that is the man the world steps around. That is the man women revere. That is the man other men fall silent for when he speaks. You have the tools. You have the truth. You have the reason. Now go and live it. I'll see you in the next video, where I'll show you why the men the world fears most are always the ones who say the least, and exactly how you become one of them. Until then, hunt in silence.